Hi, I'm Lisa with Adam Medical. I just wanted to go over a few quick instructions for you guys to make it a little simpler on how to operate our warmers. Please refer to our owner's manual for any specifics though. Here is our on button. It takes about 3 seconds. It does a quick self-check and it comes on to whatever it was on set at last time. There's no factory defaults or presets. So it's going to come on to, right now the mode and set point is here in the center. Baby's temperature is going to be in orange. So I'm going to put some warmth to it. It's going to show a baby temperature here. So if you use the temp probe, it'll display in orange. Little icon here just shows how much heat's being utilized. It's set on manual mode at 25%, so there's 3 bands of light lit up, which is rounded out to the tenths. You'll see a little footprint here that says off. That's for a secondary temperature probe you won't be using in the ER. There is an APGAR timer. You just touch it. It'll start doing a full 60-minute count and give you reminders at minutes 1, 5, and 10 to do your APGAR scores. I'm going to let that run as I talk so you can hear the tone. This is our touch screen, but it's a intentional touch screen. So if you touch up in the upper half with not just a tap, but a little longer tap, it's not hard, just more time involved in your press. There's your servo mode or baby control, where the temp probe is on your baby's abdomen covered by a temperature probe cover, and that would mean that your baby is your thermostat. So as the baby needs heat, the heater turns on. When the baby warms up, the temperature will drop off. This is your manual mode, which is a percentage of heat. So 25, 35, 45% heat. It's a 500 watt heater head. With this, remember any heat over 30%, so 35 to 100%, that would be. Every 15 minutes, you will get a check baby alarm. It will turn the heat to 0. 1 minute APGAR, by the way. To turn APGAR off, just touch it. It'll say, do you want to stop and reset it? Okay. By the way, in manual mode, any heat over that 35 or 30%, so 35 to 100 every 15 minutes, check baby alarm comes on. The heat will go to 0 because we don't want a baby overheating under heat they can't control. All you have to do is come check the baby, push alarm silence, and the heat will go back on for another 15 minutes. If I push the upper half again, find manual mode, you'll see there's a preheat button. If I select preheat, it'll make sure there's not a baby in the bed. We'll say okay. Now it's on preheat. And preheat preheats the heater head so that when you are expecting delivery, like mom comes into the ER in labor, put it on preheat. It'll do 100% power for 15 minutes, then drop down to 30% and stay there with no alarms. But before she delivers, touch the upper half, stop preheat mode, okay. Now we're going to put it in manual mode and crank it up so that bed and everything in it will be able to receive that baby that's wet and convecting and conducting heat. So the bed will be nice and warm, ready to receive the baby. So I'm going to close that out. This one has built-in pulse oximetry. So once the pulse ox is on your baby, all you have to do is connect the sensor to the cord. And once you connect the sensor to the cord, it'll turn on your oxygen saturation and heart rate, your pulse oximeter in other words. So oxygen saturation and heart rate, the numbers to the side are your high and low alarm limits. If I'm looking at the menu bar, the third item, this little page, if I select that, the third item here is pulse oximeter. I can turn on the beep if I want to hear it, turn it down, change the averaging time. Again, on this drop down or the menu bar at the bottom, if I select the heart, it brings the module of pulse oximetry out to the forefront so I can see my values larger as well as my pleth waveform. To turn off the pulse oximeter, you just separate the sensor from the cord and it'll alarm. I push alarm silence and it turns it off. Again, when I'm in a different screen, just push the house, it'll bring you back to the main screen.